Almost 14 years ago, my parents heard their precious 5-year-old daughter say that she had licked her half-brother's bum and white stuff came out. They reported this to the police, not knowing what else to do. Wasn't that a mistake?
Just there to support
safety and
save
support
the children,
about
isn't it?
my children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren. But hearing some of them stories broke my heart.
Why are you all here today?
For our children, for the survivors. Been very brave to speak today. Very proud of them. It's here to support them. We need more people out next time.
Thank you.
Here today.
To support the children and to expose what's happening to the children, not only in this country but throughout the world, exposing child sex trafficking and satanic ritual abuse, which most politicians and the elite are heavily involved in.
Well, I'm here to bring to light, help bring to light the evil things that are happening to our children in the country today. All hidden and covered by our government. So they've hidden the grooming gangs, they hide what's happening in the schools. They're even taken away this week your right to teach at home if they disagree with your political views.
Yeah.
You cannot teach your children outside of the system now.
We need a public inquiry. This children's home had 900 children in it. They used to torture children in the bathrooms. The bathrooms, they waterboarded.
I'm now marching with a couple hundred patriots who are demanding the safety of our children. They want knife crime to stop, they want the sexualisation of our children to stop, and they want our children to stop being victimised by these grooming gangs which the police do nothing about. We've heard stories today from survivors of child sexual abuse and exploitation, and it's been an absolutely heartbreaking day. So enjoy the video. So we're here for the children today, and as a abuse survivor yourself from, what school was it again?
It was Beechholm in Banstead, Surrey.
That's it, Beechholm.
Beechholm Children's Home.
You're a Beechholm survivor.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's so important that we need to stand here for the children?
For the simple reason is our politicians won't do it. Our politicians will have no inquiries. Our MPs won't stand up in chamber and turn around and say, demand a public inquiry into the historic child abuse that's gone on. We colonialise the world on child abuse, right? All four corners of the world, the Asians, the Americas and everywhere. Nothing's ever been done about our trafficking, our grooming. Beechholm was one of the largest children's homes in this country. I'm going to be talking about it on the stage about Beechholm and what happened to quite a lot of children. At one stage, it had 900 children in it. That is huge, and that's off the scale.
They would put you in baths with bleach. They would use carbolic soap on you. They put carbolic soap in my mouth and said, we'll wash your mouth out with soap.
This is for the children. What a sad turnout for the children in the fucking world. What a sad turnout this is. All you families at home who's just sitting in your chairs, hopefully you're watching this. My name's Tony Costick, and what a sad turnout for the children. If you care about your children, you should be here. It's sad, mate, I'm sorry.
No, it is.
Soul-destroying.
It is. I mean, in 2018, the DFLA march, there was about 80,000 men on the streets.
James
Harvey? Yeah.
Anyway, it's sad.
I agree, man.
I follow you on X.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Thank you.
So,
mate, this is soul-destroying.
Billy, every time I speak to you, there's always interesting stuff that's going on. So why don't you update the viewers on what you're doing in Rochdale at the moment?
So the fight continues, same as we've been doing for the last 15 years. We're continuing to fight for accountability. We're fighting for an inquiry locally and nationally. The fight goes on. The council we've got, the Labour council we've got, is corrupt and up to its eyes in dirt and mud and the abuse of our children.
Yeah. And why are you here today supporting a movement called For the Children?
Because it's got to stop. I believe this is the start of the beginning of the end for the abuse of UK's children.
Yeah.
It's all right me going with PAC UK and standing at St Peter's Square with 30 people, and then there's another one over the road with 30 people. We need to come together, stand together, because it's not just about abuse as well. As you can see behind me, it's about knife crime. It's about protecting our children. They're our future. We was the future once. It's now their turn, and we've got to give them the best future that they can have. And by sitting by doing nothing, that's no future for anyone. And this country will just go down the Swanee.
So why are you here today?
Because I was raised in a paedophile ring by my biological father, who is now passed. But I'm very passionate about keeping all kids safe.
So you mentioned a paedophile ring. Was this multiple people?
Yes, about 7 children.
7 children. Wow. So was this ever exposed, or did
Yes.
you? Yeah.
My father went to court, and he is a Schedule 1 offender. They call it online grooming or a paedophile. It's actually, the real word for it is a Schedule 1 offender. So they've obviously groomed children. He did serve 3 years, come out after 9 months, and then obviously he groomed all my brothers and sisters.
I know there's a big...
And there was other men coming into the house.
Yeah.
So it was quite, it took a long time. My brother's not with us no more because he ended up being a heroin addict. My sister's absolutely mental, so she's not normal. And I've got 12 grandkids, so I protect them.
I know there's a big issue with paedophiles never being charged. I mean, look at Jimmy Savile, for example. They had to wait until he was dead before he was exposed. Why do you think that is?
Because they get offered money to keep quiet, probably, or they're going to be told that there's no way that anyone's going to believe them, because they're obviously, you get film stars, you get all these people that are musicians that are actually coming out now, but it's because it's the way that they've been groomed as a child. They don't know no different.
Yeah.
Save our children! Save our children! Save our children! No doubt. What
Save our children!
Save our children!
Save our children! Save our children!
Save our children!
Save
What do we want?
our children safe! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Our children safe! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Our children safe! When do we want it? Now! What do we want?
Our children safe!
When do we want it?
So I wanted to do a summary of the day. You know, a lot of people are quite disappointed with the turnout. There should be thousands on the streets marching for our children. I know UKIP is, you know, you're getting the momentum now, and looking back from Honor Oak to now, there is a massive kind of, you're getting a lot more support. So I wanted to kind of, you to summarise today and how you feel numbers are at the moment in terms of our political activism.
Yeah, certainly. So I think the sentiment today is that because of the nature of the campaign is so traumatic and awful to hear about, people want more numbers here, which of course makes sense. But let's put our foot in the shoe of the great British public. Do you want to stand there and listen to the stories we've heard today? No one wants to face that demon. It's unthinkable. We're taking our country back, and the only way we can do that is at the ballot box. So if you're not involving politics at the dinner table, if you're not getting behind a political party and giving it your absolute all, this is all in vain. If good people, we know who the activists are up and down the country, it's a squad of maybe 500 dedicated activists that continually campaign for Britain. Not so much right-wing politics, but for justice. If you aren't watching this and saying, do you know what, I'm never going to do what you guys do, but I'm going to do the behind-the-scenes stuff. I'm going to volunteer. I'm going to leaflet. I'm going to campaign. I'm going to take back Britain from behind the scenes. You guys carry on doing what you're doing, but we're behind you. You know the silent majority that we always hear about? Silent majority, it's time to wake up. Let the activists do the hard yards. You join the party and back from behind the scenes. There's nothing wrong with that, but this must convert into political action. Everything's going to have to become political. Everyone's got to get political.
So you're here for the children today. What would you like to see to protect them further?
Stop children going online until they're at least 14 or 16.
So is that just every website as a whole?
Every child should not allowed to be on the internet because it's not safe. I'd say you get one paedophilia, 1 out of every 2. I'm part of a hunting team. And in the hunting team that I share my videos, it's constant. It's like a plague. You know, like anything that's going around, it's like you wouldn't think it's out there as much as it is, but it is. And everyone's just quiet about it. It's like it's a taboo that no one wants to talk about. But it is out there and it is real. And we're all people that have suffered our lives.
What do you think the biggest issue currently facing our young people is?
It's a very good question. I think it depends. It actually depends on who you are and where you are. So it's a kind of a time and space issue, I think. I think for certainly within some parts of inner London, it will be knife crime will be the most pressing issue. For vulnerable children, a combination of things. There'll be vulnerable children within the care system, and obviously there will be children who are vulnerable to rape gangs as well. So I guess it's a question of who you are and where you are, really.
Yeah. I wanted to know what your thoughts is on how we would combat knife crime. So I like what the El Salvadorian president did, but the problem is that he did. A lot of innocent people are also in prison there because they were so radical and they had to hit quotas, and so they were just picking anyone up off the street.
5 years if you carry a knife, isn't it?
Well, it's longer than that actually. It's because there was a national state of emergency. You can get 2 years without even being sentenced, and up to like 20 years if you're a gang member, right? So, do you support what the El Salvadorian president did, and how do you think that we could combat knife crime on the streets of England?
So combating knife crime is one of the hardest questions for any politician to answer, by far. It's multi-layered. So number one, is there a deterrent for migrant knife crime? No. We need a deterrent for migrant knife crime. Is there a deterrent for home-bred problems? So gangs on the e-bikes and the machetes and all that sort of stuff. Is there a deterrent for that? Yeah, tough law and order. If you're caught with a machete or a zombie knife or something other than a kitchen knife and you are out with it, why should you be allowed your freedom? Why should you be allowed to be on the streets? Now let's take the knife-wielding maniac who's acting alone, whatever. UKIP policy is very clear on this. We need to set a deterrent. You've got to break down all the different areas, and then that involves fatherlessness as well, godlessness, degeneracy. Why is knife crime so rampant? Well, in the States they've got guns. In the UK we don't have guns, we've got knives. So if anyone wants to do anything really horrible, it's going to be with a knife. It's not going to be a bow and arrow, it's not going to be crossbow, it's not going to be the kitchen fridge, it's going to be with a knife. We need to set the precedent rather, that there is a very horrible deterrent waiting for you if you're caught with a knife. Now, there's a counter argument. What about all those kids that are carrying a knife in self-defense because the gangs are after them? Right, should we lock them up for 5 years? They've got no intention of using it other than to defend themselves. Then we got the guy on the train last year, you might have seen it. It was recorded in the vestibule of the train, and he was going for, and the guy got off. He got off apparently because it was self-defense. There has to be a zero. With regards to El Salvador, there has to be a zero tolerance policy. If you're carrying a knife, it should be mandatory 5 years. That's it, mandatory 5 years. So if you live in a community where they're after you and they're going to use a knife, well then you need to go to the authorities, or you need to learn self-defense, or you need to move. The answer isn't to pick up a knife. The answer is not to pick up a knife. That's my policy. El Salvador's situation is very different in terms of the Latino gangs, but we have similar gang culture, obviously, in the UK, specifically in our major cities. This is a huge problem. I suggest we give our social housing to British people. I suggest we produce jobs for the working class people. I suggest we reinvigorate our parishes and our communities so that churches are on the front line when it comes to people who need help, who go, I don't want to carry a knife, but people are after me who've got a knife. There's ways we can re-engineer society, and of course, zero tolerance policy on knife crime. 5 years if you're caught with a knife.